Hello and welcome back to the channel, as today we're going to be following a new route of the disused railway. We're at Moorfield Station, where we're going to be following the route of the Spen Valley line, locally known as the Cleckheaton Branch. So it was opened by the Yorkshire and Lancashire Railway in 1847 towards Moor, fully opening in 1848. So I'm here today with Jess.
Hi.
So she's going to be following me on this first part of this venture. So we're going to see what we can come across on this famous old line.
In this series we'll be following the green line of the Yorkshire and Lancashire Railway's Spen Valley line, between Moorfield and Moor. The line closed in 1965, with the line continuing to run with freight until 1981. In part 1 of the series we'll be following the route from Moorfield Station as the line headed off towards Northorpe North Road Station, and we'll finish the video just past the site of the old Heckmondwike Station at Huddersfield Road.
So our line we're going to be following branched off at Cleckheaton Junction, just where that tree line is down there, heading towards a bridge that went over the canal, which we're going to show you when we get there. So the next section of our line, this is where the railway would have gone over the canal. You can just see the abutments of a bridge that cross over the canal. Now the bridge is clearly being demolished. You could just see there the remains. It was a stone bridge. Now if we take you to the other side, you can see here the remainder of the bridge. You can see it looked like it was made of steel, and this little block here looks like it was the remains of a steel block, because you could tell the difference in the material. I don't know if you could just make that out, but you can see the bridge was made out of stone, and it would have crossed over here, and you can just see where the line would have continued. You can get a clearer shot of the abutments, and you can clearly see at the back there was a lot more metal work where the steel girder bridge was demolished. Not sure what that is. It's got a train on it, and it does actually spin. I wonder if it's something to do with the railway. It does have some dates and some railway companies on here. So you've got London North Western Railway 1848, you've got the Lancashire and the Yorkshire Railway 1848, and the Midland Railway 1910. Now the next part of the line is inaccessible, so what we're going to do now is we're going to meet up with a track bed at Church Lane, where it follows the Vally Greenway.
Now at the top left is the Cleckheaton Junction, just beyond Moorfield Station. You can see how the line passes over the canal at the right, just there. Now in the next part you can just see this bridge here at the top right, which has been now infilled. So we're going to continue from Church Lane.
So I'm now currently on Church Lane. Now behind me here there's a cutting. Well, it was a cutting. Now following on from where we left that, the abutments of that bridge down at the canal, so it would have followed the line underneath Church Lane on the bridge, and it would have followed on where the Vally Greenway, it's all been infilled. We're going to follow that now towards our first station, which was Northorpe North Station. Now a lot of the bridge is still intact. It was a stone bridge. Still got the coping stones at the top here. And there's another view of the cutting. That's going back down towards the junction at Cleckheaton. Now you can just see behind here that the bridge is infilled. So it clearly went under here. You can see how high the infill went. Now if we go to the other side, you can see there's a little bit of structural damage. Now I believe that there was a crash around here. Because you can just see here that some of the bridge here is been wiped out, which is a shame. You can tell this is part of the old railway bridge. You can see the coping stones just there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to follow the route of the railway towards Northorpe North Road Station.
Now you can see the cutting just beyond the bridge, where we're going to be following the route, which has now been converted into the Vally Greenway.
So the next section of our line towards Northorpe North Road Station. We're now walking on a section what would have been a cutting. Now we would have been at a lot lower level as the line would have inclined up towards Northorpe North Road Station. So clearly all overgrown. This fence post would have been part of the railway. Someone's hung a bike up on there. You can just see another one just hiding behind all this ivy right here. So like I say, it would have been stood. The train would have been at a lot lower level, and these fence posts would have been on the outside of the cutting, marking the boundary of the railway. And the cutting would have spread a lot further that way, probably about to where you can just see the bushes there where they level out, and it goes onto the slope there. Nice little sit down section which was built on top of the old track bed. The cutting did run for quite some distance. It must have taken a lot of earth to fill in these cuttings. When they convert them into cycleways, they normally do build them at a higher level. Got another one of them seated areas, and then you can just see how the cutting, it would have carried on for quite a while down here towards Northorpe North Road Station. Now the OS maps does state that there was a signal box and a signal post around here, and this would have been the exact location of where it was. There is some evidence that the signal box was here. You can see a few bits of concrete here, and believing that the signal box was built out of red brick, but you can just hear some red bricks, and this was the exact spot of the signal box, so you can just see the remains of it there. And it was used to control a junction towards a colliery, and if our track bed goes off towards this direction, but the colliery would have been located in that direction, believing that this here was part of the track bed towards the colliery. Close in probably around the 1960s, 70s. You can see it on the maps, but by 1974 you could see it had gone. So what we're going to do now is head this way and continue on towards the station. Now you can see the signal box marked here on the map, and slightly beyond, the site of the residential area was the site of the colliery. So here's our track bed. Again, you would not believe that this was a railway. There is a footpath that leads onto a field that crosses over the site of the old railway and into this residential area. So from this spot here, we believe the alignment of the railway would have continued right through. You see a little bit of track bed still remaining. So this would have been a track bed right here. So that's looking back to where we just walked. So we're now onto this walkway. Track bed would have been around here, so the railway would have probably been about where we're walking now, maybe even through this house here to the left. See this converted footpath, and it's all residential around here. So we're looking back towards, this is where the railway would have been, and this would have been the alignment right here. So this road has obviously been put in on the site of the railway, so it's following through where this pavement is. So we're heading out of the residential area, and we're onto Spring Place Gardens. Now this is approaching the site of the Northorpe station, well, the Northorpe North Road station. So there was an embankment here that went on towards it. There are still some bridge remains that I'm going to show you. So this is the site of Northorpe North Road station. We are on North Road at the moment. Now I believe, so the site of the station would have been up there. You can just see the abutments where the railway crossed over here. So this would have been station access, I believe. You can see it's all like infilled, and I believe it's now private residence. But you can see where the railway continued from that embankment over here. Bridge is obviously long gone. Now this station actually opened a lot later than when the line opened, because the line obviously opened in the 1840s. So this opened on the 1st of December in 1891, and it temporarily closed on the 2nd of April in 1917, and then it was reopened again on the 5th of May in 1919. Now the 2nd of June in 1924, the name of the station changed from Northorpe to Northorpe North Road before closing on the 14th of June 1965. Now just slightly further, just up the road up there, so you would have had Northorpe North Road station here, but you would have had the Northorpe Higher Railway Station. That was on the Leeds New Line. So we have found the remains of Northorpe North Road Station. So what I've had to do is go towards Stony Lane and then walk back on the track bed from Stony Lane back on the track bed towards Northorpe North Road Station. Now this is a section that I really didn't think that was going to find, but how I know that we're here, so we're following on from where we left off at North Road. Obviously there were no access in, but right behind me is North Road. Now it is in the middle, as you can see, of woodland. Now if you do remember when I pointed to where the station access would have been, I believe it would have come in from somewhere just down here, and the station did only have one platform, so the track bed is where you can just see this raised embankment here. Now if you just take a look around here, there's a lot of old red brick that's around here. There's loads of remains of stonework. So yeah, this was clearly the site of the station, which is really good because I never thought we was going to find this. But you can see a lot of old spoil here. There are more remains of stonework and brickwork, which you can just see here. You can just see more brickwork down there, and I believe that these station buildings would have been around here. So this is the foundations of the station building. The track bed was slightly just to the left of me down there. You can see where it dips down. So I'm just thinking that this could be potential remains of the platform and the station buildings. So like I said, this is where you would have been waiting inside for the trains. There you can see more brickwork here. There's a lot of red brickwork just here. Yeah, there's plenty more remains here. So like I said, the track bed would have been more down here. You can just see the dip in the ground. So the station building would have been here, facing this way. Really fascinating one, this one. Didn't think we was going to get up here. But here we are, found more red brick all around here. So the station building did actually go for quite some distance, as you can see on this picture. And now you can see something railway related down there, some wooden block. Wow. Yeah, you can see here the foundations. Some more red brick down there, so this was definitely a building right here. There's a lot of red brick all piled up at the back. You can see a lot more foundations just down at the bottom here. And there you go, more red brick. So yeah, this would have been the main station building right here. So this would have been our main track bed. The train would have passed here, and look how the ground does raise up there. So that's demolished platforms. You can just see the remnants of it, and it does stop actually a lot further on. I thought there is a little footpath along the main track bed, but you can see more remains of stonework. So I'm guessing this would have still been platform remnants. See more and more stonework here, and it did stop around here somewhere. So that would be looking at the Northorpe North Road Station. Now I have walked slightly further on. You can actually see here where the platform ended. There's a lot more station building remains that you can still see. Even further to the left here, you can see more red brick. You can just see more stonework at the back here. Now it did look like it potentially had another line behind here, so just wondering if it did actually have two lines that ran on either side, so I'm guessing it probably did. So it was an island platform with the other side of the railway coming this way and then linking up around here to continue on towards Heckmondwike. So that'll be looking back towards the station, and now we're following the track bed through these woods on towards Heckmondwike and Heckmondwike Junction. I've come to the site where there's a bridge, metal, well, steel top here you can see now. Now it is a little bit too dangerous to go down there. You can see how high up I am, and I'm not willing to break my neck to go down there, but you can just hear this bridge. So you can just see the top of the metal, and I'll just give you a view looking down that way. And if I just take you back up onto the track bed, you can just see here the other side of it. Looks like it goes into somebody's garden. Not something you expect to see on a railway explore. So this is our track bed now, heading on towards Heckmondwike and Heckmondwike Junction. Now it looks like you've got here a fence. Looks like it's potentially salvaged railway sleepers, but the track bed did continue along here. That's potentially been demolished, but the track bed does continue a little further on this way. Can clearly see it's all overgrown. And just here we have another bridge, and there's a shot of the other bridge. It looks quite similar to the one that was back that way. We can just see some old railway fence posts, and you can see it was a steel bridge. You could just see the abutments that are down there, where all that metalwork seems to be rusting away. So the bridge still is intact, but seems to be decaying and getting rusty. So we've just passed down a public footpath. You could just see the other side of it, the abutments. Look at that. So the next section where we're going to pick up the line will be at the site of the Ponderosa Zoo, where we're going to meet with a cut-in. So behind me here you've got Ponderosa Zoo. If you've ever been here, you would know that a railway line once passed through here. So the exit and the entrance into the Ponderosa Zoo was actually a railway cut-in. You can just see it behind me. Would have gone, and it would have carried on down towards Heckmondwike. Now back in 1900 there was a line named the Heckmondwike Lodge Railway that branched off from Heckmondwike Lodge Junction to Leeds, which was also known as the Leeds New Line. Now that actually crossed over here on an iron girder. Now you can actually see some remains of a bridge, which I'm going to spin the camera around and show you. Now you can see the remains here of the bridge. It was built out of, well, it's red brick but coated in blue, you can see. And you can see some stone pillars in the middle and the coping stones at the top. Now like I said, it was an iron girder, and there are some remains of some of the steel work that you could just see there. I'll zoom the camera in so you can see a better shot. If I just take you a little further down, you can see more of the bridge here. I mean the land above it now is all privately owned, I guess, but here's a nice shot of it. But the Leeds New Line would have come in this way here and gone over the top. So this is our line that we're going to continue, and this is the abutments of that bridge. Now there is a picture taken over there that's looking facing this way, which I'm going to try and like fade in. Now this picture was taken while the track was being lifted. You can actually see the steel girder that runs across towards the abutment. So I'm going to do a match-up picture and see if I can fade it in. You can still see some bits of metal on the corner here as well, where the bridge remains are. There's some slight damage at the top as well. You can see some of the bricks have come loose. So our next section of the line is going to be beyond here now. So we're going to meet up at Heckmondwike Junction, where it connected with another railway line known as the Northorpe Branch. So I'm now heading towards Heckmondwike Junction. Now you can just see down there the line of trees where our line continues towards Heckmondwike Junction. Now, just where I'm stood now is the location of where a viaduct would have taken the Leeds New line over the Ravensthorpe branch, because you've got another joint railway here, which I'm going to get to later on. So that was the Ravensthorpe branch, and it was a steel, I believe it was a steel viaduct, which I've got a picture of, that had crossed over here, just where this pond is, and then taken the Leeds New line over in that direction. Now around here there was, I don't know what they were, but there were some buildings around here called the Bottoms, which the 1888 to 1915 Ordnance Surveillance map refers to as the Bottoms. And then also to the left of me here there would have been some, well, I believe there were a signal post, and then another little siding that would have branched off our line into the middle here. Now there's no evidence of them buildings that are left here because it's all literally overgrown. But our line, you could just see the tree line where it came up from the Ponderosa Zoo, and it would have continued down towards the junction with the Ravensthorpe branch at Heckmondwike Junction, which would have then headed towards the Heckmondwike Central station. So our Spen Valley line would have continued right through these bushes here. So we're now walking towards the section where the Heckmondwike Junction was. Now again, you wouldn't believe that the railway passed through here. Now you've got little remnants of buildings, a lot of red brick here. Again, you can tell that would have been something to do with the railway. A load of ballast left here. It's quite a bit of it. Now, a little branch siding did go down into the middle of that field from the junction. You'll be able to see that in the pictures, but I did point that out earlier. You could just see a few fence posts that mark that boundary, because that's on the other side is the Ravensthorpe branch. I'm potentially looking at the remains of a plate lace cabin. Now if you just take note of that building to the left there, if you just take a look at this photograph, you can see that same building in the photo, and right next to it you see there's a guy stood in front of the plate lace cabin, which was around here. So we do believe that this here was part of the plate lace cabin. Now we've reached the site of the Heckmondwike Junction. Now back on the 1st of June in 1869 there was a branch that was built from Heckmondwike, just here, down towards Thornhill, which was a 2-mile branch which was known as the Ravensthorpe branch line. Now I did mention that the Leeds New line was carried by a viaduct, and it would have crossed over the Ravensthorpe branch just in front of me over there. Now there is a photo taken from here, and it's got the Ravensthorpe branch going down in this direction, our line heading down in that direction, and then a sidings leading off to the left here. So I'm going to see if I can just fade that picture in now. Now somewhere around here there was a footbridge that would have crossed over the top, just somewhere here. Now I do have a photograph showing it with a signal box. I believe it was somewhere just around here, which controlled the junction between Ravensthorpe down towards and Murfield. Now this is known as Cater Lane. Apparently there was actually a level crossing around here as well as the signal box being here. Now the original station building would have been on the right. You could just see this photo of the original station building on the right here, with the train going past. So that would have headed down towards the level crossing, somewhere around here. Now I can't find any photos of the level crossing. Now that footbridge is long gone, so there's no signs of it anyway. So what we're going to do now is take you towards the Heckmondwike station. Now back on the 18th of July in 1848, a railway station was actually opened around here, and it was the first station built in Heckmondwike. But then it was resited slightly further along on the 9th of August 1888. Now the original Heckmondwike station opened in 18th of July 1848, built by the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway, was built round here. And I believe that the goods shed to the right of me, just here where these houses are, it had a single platform and a single station building, and it closed on the 9th of August in 1888. I can see the site of the original station. Now this new housing development, the goods shed would have been to the right here. but the station that was built in 1888 would have been on the other side of Station Road. So we're at Station Road, headed towards the site of the Heckmondwike Central station. So you would have had two lines that would have split between the island platform. So you've got two bridges just over Station Road. Now I'm going to go down and show you the bridge and the entry in. Now, I believe here was the site of the station entrance. It would have come in through a bricked up arch bridge doorway. That's I'm going to show you when I go down there. And I believe this concrete block here is covering up the entry in, because the entrance would have come in and onto the island platform. There is a photograph showing that, with the building just behind here and the island platform in the centre. And the platform is still visible down here, which I'm going to show you. So yeah, here you can see where they've actually bricked up, or they've concreted up the entry into the station. So I'm guessing there might be still some stairs or something underneath here, I'm not too sure. And then it'll come up onto the island platform, which is just heading down here. Like I said, there were two lines that split off down the side of each other on the island platform. So I'm now on Station Road. So you can see the bridge that carries the Greenway, where obviously the old railway, over Station Road. So you can see it's a steel bridge. Now just to the right, there would have been the entry into the station, which has been bricked up here. Well, you can see the stonework where they've filled in the entry in. That would have led up to that concrete block that you saw. So this is where you would have bought your tickets. So you'd have come up these stairs. Now this is the remains of the old station building. So you can see the foundations of the old station building just here. You can see the back walls here. All the old red brick. Now I'm not sure what they're doing with the site here, because they're doing some development work on the site. We've also got this this arched alcove here. Not sure what it's for. It's got like a gas pipe hanging on the outside of it. It's built out of old red brick inside. It does look like it's new, so I don't think it's part of the old station building. So here you've got the site of the Heckmondwike Central station. This opened in 1888. You can see the island platform still here, so it would have had two sides to it. And the main station building would have been in the centre. Now it opened originally as Heckmondwike, and then on the 2nd of June 1924 its name was changed to Heckmondwike Central. And on the 12th of June 1961 the name was changed back to Heckmondwike. You can see how long the platform was. Now there's nothing major that remains of any of the station buildings, but I'm stood on where I believe maybe this was part of the old station buildings, of a little gravel, but I'd have been stood around now where the station buildings were. Now if you have a look to the left of me, you can see the other side. So there was two sides of the on the island platform where there were the track. Here's where you would have had the other side. I'd been on the other side of the island platform, train heading that way. Now you can just see here, I'm stood on the platform, and I do have a photograph of a diesel train that's approaching this the platform, which I'll try and fade in. You can actually see the entrance in onto the island platform, and the up here would have been where the station sign would have been saying Heckmondwike. So I'll just show you this photo now and show you this train coming in this direction. Now you can see how the platform does continue for quite some distance. It was quite a large one. I'm guessing the station building was a lot bigger than it actually was in the pictures of how it looked. But you can still see it goes. Now part of it has been ruined. You can just see here. Because the majority of the station platform was intact. Now this has obviously been converted into the Spen Valley Greenway. Now I'm not sure what that red pipe is that's running along the side of the old station. I wonder if it's something to do with some new drainage system that they've got. Well, looks like we've got a river that runs underneath the track bed. I believe it's called the Spen River. Again, you can see how far the platform travels. It does end just about here where it disappears, but you can see how long the platform was. We've just walked all the way back from there, so that's how long the platform would have been. Not sure if this is part of the old station, if it's just some old rubble or part of the station buildings that's been pushed to the side when they've converted this into the Greenway. Now the Greenway was built in around 1998, so Sustrans actually converted the bought the old track bed. They converted the land into forming a 7-mile route between Heckmondwike towards Lowmore. So we're onto that section now, continuing on towards Huddersfield Road, where we're going to actually conclude the video. The row of railway sleepers that have been salvaged and converted into a fence just on the side of Cornmill Lane down there. Don't know if you just can make them out. It's good that they've salvaged them and kept them. But the fence is quite a long one. It goes all the way down to the end of the road, and then more or less to the corner of the entry onto the Greenway. So you can clearly see that the train line was on an embankment here. So that's looking back towards Heckmondwike Central Station in Mirfield. So now we're going to continue on towards Huddersfield Road. Well, this is the bridge that takes the old line over Wormald Street, and there's that row of sleepers. Looks like they've been I think they're sleepers anyway. Look like they've been sanded down and repurposed and built into a fence. But you can see how far it goes all the way down there. So we're into a shallow cutting now as we head towards Huddersfield Road. There's not much to really document around here. There's no relics because a lot of it will have been all pushed to the side or lost when they converted this into the Greenway back in 98. Not sure if that's something railway related, but it does look like it's got some old red brick in it. There's another one to the left of it, me just here as well. So if you do know what that is, please leave a comment in the box. We are onto another stone bridge. I'll just give you a view of it from the side. It's like another one of the narrow bridge that you just saw back there. And here's a view of that bridge. We've just headed off the footpath just down the side. A nice little narrow bridge this. You've got some kind of drainage system to the left here. And then one to the right. Nice little narrow one, and you can just see up there the stonework, which is great. Nice little wing walls. If I just take you through the little, it's like a tunnel but on the bridge, just give you a view from the other side, and then again you can see that drainage channel, and we're almost towards Huddersfield Road. Right, lovely stonework there. A little bit of a crack up there you can see on the right. You can just see a little bit of movement, but don't think it's anything too dangerous. I'm not sure if these old metal fences were for that looks like a wheel that marks some kind of tribute to a colliery or something. I'm not sure if these are cables that run across this bridge just here. There's 4 of them. There's one here, and there's one in the corner there, so there's one on each corner. So if you do know, please leave a comment. Now you can see we're in a bit of a steep cutting, a lot more shallow to the right of me, but we're heading now towards Huddersfield Road, where we've come to a bridge that carried that road across. So we're going to actually terminate the video at this point. Anyway, thank you very much for watching part 1 of the Spen Valley line. Thank you from myself and Jess.
And I'll see you again for part 2. Please like and subscribe. Share the video. Take care and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.